on a whim, about a month ago, I decided to, having heard about them all over the YouTube community, actually decide to join 2 or 3 or 4 of the fragrance groups on Facebook. Through those groups, I've met a number of people who were very generous with their time and even more generous with samples that they let me try. One of these, well, actually, the fragrance that I'm going to review for you tonight was given to me by one of the people that I met in one of those groups. I don't want to mention her name, just in case she doesn't want to get mobbed for samples. But I told her I wanted to try 4 of the things that she had in her list that she'd mentioned. And she ended up sending me like 14 samples that were like this, maybe 2.5 ml size. Extremely generous. So the fragrance I want to review for you today is by the different company. I'm going to have to turn it all around. But it's called Oriental Lounge. So, Oriental Lounge by the different company. The different company was created in 2000 by, a lot of people don't know this, but by Jean-Claude Helena and another guy by the name of Terry de Boschmakoff. The original perfumer of the house was Jean-Claude Helena, who created the different companies Osmanthus, maybe one of its most popular perfumes. Also, one of the first widely marketed perfumes to ever utilize the note of the osmanthus flower. De Boschmakoff is responsible for the bottle designs that come out of the different company, while Jean-Claude Helena's daughter, Céline Helena, is the current in-house perfumer, and has been for a number of years. She's also the creator, Céline is, of Oriental Lounge. So, top notes of Oriental Lounge. You have something called Kalupali. I've never heard this word before and had a really tough time finding out how to pronounce it online. So the spelling, there are actually 2. This one is Caloypille, Kalupili, Kalopile, whatever. And it's also Kaloupile. So one has a C and 2 L's, one has a K and 1 L. You can just call them curry leaves because that's what they are. So, curry leaves, bergamot, and pepper on the top. The heart has rose and satinwood. The base has tonka bean, labdanum, and amber. Scandalously, I think, rose in this fragrance is not actually an accord. Is an accord. It's not a note. There is no rose in the fragrance whatsoever. It consists of a blend of pepper, geranium, and quote-unquote an undisclosed note. But believe me, you'd swear on your grandmother's grave that it was a rose. It smells like a rose. Yeah, it smells like a rose. If I had to, I would classify this as probably a floral oriental. So, what do I get? The beginning of the fragrance opens up with a kind of fleeting bergamot that's gone before you know it. Not too out of the ordinary for bergamot to be fleeting or on the top of a fragrance, but that's okay. As soon as you get a good whiff of it on your skin, you know it's not really all about the citrus. This fragrance is all about a lush, somnolent, creamy amber. That's what it's centered around. This fragrance it's all about that sort of deep balsamic amber with a fair amount of spice to keep things interesting. But the spice here isn't anything you would consider typically Oriental. That's not anise or cardamom or cumin or caraway. Rather, the predominant spice note, which I can honestly say that I have smelled before, is that of the curry leaf. Curry leaves come, perhaps not surprisingly, from a plant called the curry leaf tree, which is a member of the Morea family, specifically Morea Carnegii, or Carnegii, if you want a German pronunciation. If you've ever had the pleasure of brushing up against a Morea tree, you will find that it exudes a really warm, satisfying, earthy citrus aroma. The curry leaf is not used in actual curry spice mix, like you might think of, masala mixes, like garam masala or something like that. That's common in Indian cooking. However, it is used widely in Indian cooking, much the way American cuisine or European cuisine would utilize the bay leaf. So sort of plopped whole into soups or stews or anything else that has a really distinctively southern Indian flavor profile of cumin and turmeric and cardamom, cloves, allspice, ginger, garlic, that sort of thing. They're also sometimes fried whole, curry leaves are, to extract the essential oils from the leaf, much as you would do with many powdered spices in Indian cooking. So that's what the curry leaf is all about. It's hardly a surprise, then, I guess, that Oriental Lounge is meant to invoke a sense of freshness and sensuality of Oriental silk. The way the curry leaf mixes with the balsam and the amber creates the effect of something rich and warm enveloping you and sort of wrapping around you, like a silken scarf would. The dry down is predominantly floral, reminding me of the mid stages of Shalimar EDT, that sort of peachy, barely sweet vanilla mixed with the faintest hint of a dusty, musky, truly animalic cedarwood-like base. Except Oriental Lounge never gets skanky, like Shalimar sometimes can. The longer the dry down continues, the more vocal the rose becomes, or the rose accord, mixed with the soft, moribund amber, all of which is gone in maybe 4 to 5 hours. This is not a beast by any stretch of the imagination. It's pretty tame. For several reasons, I don't think you would really want this to project, because it's very rich and it's very loud in the way that it smells. So if it was actually loud in projection, that might be too much. So while it smells amazing, the longevity is more on the average side. 4, 5, 6 hours, something like that. Sillage, as always, will depend on the wearer, but probably be between below average and average on you. After 3 or 4 hours, it becomes a very well-behaved skin scent on me, which is frankly okay, considering what it smells like. If this was a sillage monster, you probably wouldn't want to wear it anywhere else but at home, because it's, sort of floral oriental ambers are, not necessarily crowd pleasers. So depending on how daring you are, you might want to wear it in public, but if you're more shy, you might not want to. As far as price goes, look at Lucky Scent. We're talking $165 for 50 mils and $235 for 90 mils. I've seen bottles on sites like, other sites, just looking around the internet for. I've seen it for less, for around $50 for 50 mils. And I think at that price, it's an absolute steal. I think 165 is a little steep, but 50 or 60 for 50 mils, yeah, I would do that. in a second, I would. Unisex scent, by the way. And doesn't really lean feminine or masculine. It's sort of right cut down the middle. My overall impression would be like the forbidden inside of a sultan's seraglio, where only eunuchs are sort of meant to tread, and the concubines are perfumed with sweet rose water, and they're laying around in fine satin waiting to be called into the palace, by the sultan. You sort of get that impression. Oriental, satiny, enveloping, rich, rosy, and totally unisex. The best Orientals exude, I think, a kind of languidness and a kind of sprezzatura that are uniquely their own. Oriental Lounge is nothing short of a really exquisite unisex delight. So I guess the art of perfumery runs in the Elena family. I'm glad it does, too. Go ahead and get your hand on a sample of the Oriental Lounge by the different company. Bye, guys. See you later.